Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast once again. We love it that you tuned in to listen to us. How you doing, Mark?
Good. I think there's like 1,600 crazy people who download these and they listen to them almost religiously, almost on a weekly basis.
Wow.
So thank you. We hope we're helping. We hope you are able to grab a couple little tidbits while you're running on the treadmill or on your drive to work.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, what we've got going today is we're going to talk about emergencies and why they're bad.
Emergencies, yuck. Wait a second. Wait. Not so fast.
Not so fast.
All right, so let me put some macroeconomics to this, and maybe this will help everybody understand what actually most of you are probably feeling this right about now in your dental practices. You may not know why, but after 2008, when the recession hit, the housing bubbles burst, dentistry shed about 18% of its gross domestic product, which means, well, that's a lot of money. So what happened was we had people who were no longer getting elective treatment. I'm sure there are dentists listening to this who can attest to being a cosmetic dentist before March of 2008 versus being a cosmetic dentist after March of 2008, because all the elective treatment basically dried up. And along with some of that elective treatment that dried up, so did routine maintenance and routine care. And the recession now is 9 years in. Recovery is upon us. But still, you have to question what happens to the mouth in, let's say, even if it's 6 or 7 years, if you neglect routine, periodic, professional maintenance and care. And what is the answer to that, Howie?
Well, things kind of go to hell.
Okay, good. Is that a clinical opinion?
Yeah, very highly clinical.
Okay, so, right, so it kind of makes perfect sense that a certain portion of that almost 20% hit that dentistry took, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, that's a lot of money that wasn't getting spent on dentistry. It makes perfect sense that we may come around to the point where, you know what, it's time to pay the piper.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And for the topic of this podcast, actually, Howie and I think we said in one of our, articles, maybe like 2.5, 3 years ago, we basically said, get ready for the onslaught of the emergencies. Yeah. Because you can't not take care of your teeth and just magically not have decay. Okay. It just doesn't work that way. So, yeah. And when people, you know how your patients get when they let things go, you know how your patients get when they're prioritizing which tooth of the year they're going to crown because their insurance only covers so much. You know exactly what we're talking about. Well, this happened to the entire population of the U.S. all at once in a compressed fashion to the tune of billions of dollars. So this is not something to sneeze at. This is really something that we're going to encourage you to prepare for, even though the title of this sounds like we hate emergencies. It's quite the opposite.
Yeah. Actually, we're kind of trying to portray how dentists often feel about emergencies. Sometimes, oftentimes we'll hear, well, we don't want to attract emergencies. They're just one-time patients and then they go away. Well, okay, that's probably true. But I'll tell you what, if that one-time patient comes in and you get him out of pain, him or her out of pain, that's a motivated patient. They're going to pay you, and they'll come back the next time something breaks, and you know there's going to be a next time. So they're not really just limited to one visit. Another thing we commonly hear, they really mess up our schedule. Well, okay, but if you prepare for that eventuality happening, then basically what have you got? You've got somebody walking in. It's usually a root canal, correct? An emergency. And
root canal, post and core, and a crown.
Yeah,
a couple grand.
And what's that? How much is that in your practice? I don't know, but it's a good chunk of money, and a lot of times the insurance will help out. And so, you basically got money walking in the door, and all you need to do is, handle the inconvenience by fitting in the patient somehow, some way, maybe skipping lunch, maybe rearranging something, because you've got some money sitting there that you didn't even advertise. It didn't even cost you anything. They just came in. It's almost like free money. So,
yeah, it also is. I normally, when you talk to a dentist and then they don't really want to promote, you don't really want to promote that they handle emergencies. Part of the reason why is because the emergency dentists tend to get the calls for drugs on Fridays and Saturdays.
Oh yeah. The patients who are allergic to everything except Percodan.
Exactly, those patients. Yeah, the allergic patients. We'll call them. We'll call them the allergic patients.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
that
but
can happen.
Yeah, it happened, but the recession didn't have anything to do with that. A lot of these patients will be true emergency patients, and they will be, as Howie points out, if you will work with your team to be flexible in handling them, they can add, if you have one a day, they can add, $1,500 to $2,000 a day in production.
Yeah.
What's that worth to you?
Yeah. Unplanned for.
Right.
Just happened,
And it's not like they're never going to come back. They probably will come back, just like Howie says. They're going to come back next time they have a toothache.
Right. Well, they'll either listen to you, take your advice, and start, taking care of their teeth, or they won't. In either case, they're going to be back because they'll either have another emergency, or the light will come on and they'll go, "Dang, you're right, doc. I need to come see you guys."
Yeah, dentists think sedation dentistry was the cure for the phobic dental patient. And I've said forever that it's not sedation, it's pain. Pain, if you're experiencing dental pain, the only thing you want is to get that taken care of. Your fear goes out the window.
Right.
So that's now, what can you do to become the emergency dentist in your town? You think this is probably a good place for a commercial break, Howie?
Yeah, let's go do that, and we'll be right back. You hang in there. We hope you're enjoying our podcast. Let me ask you, do you have a roadmap for your marketing? Why not let New Patients Incorporated do it for you? Our marketing plans have been proven effective for over 27 years for hundreds of practices across lots of different countries. We will give you the marketing data for your area, a marketing budget. We'll show you how to allocate your budget, and then we will show you the proper deployment strategies for each medium. Click on the header where it says Complimentary Marketing Plan when you go to www.newpatientsincorporated. Okay, we are back. We were talking about the emergency patient and why they're a very motivated patient because they're in such pain. Heck, you could probably even get them to, clean up their past child support and send their mom roses. And
right, exactly.
If you just get them out of pain, they'll do anything.
Exactly. So how do you become I don't know, maybe not necessarily the go-to dentist in your town for emergencies, but certainly how do you make yourself available? Well, one way is there's several ways internally. Just let all your patients know that you're available to them through your voicemail, through your outgoing message, in your emails, even in your texts, in almost all your communication with your existing patients, reception room loop in your waiting room. Just let them know. If they ever are experiencing any dental pain at all, please call this number immediately and have that number set up properly, and so on and so forth. There's one way. Another way is to make sure it's on your website, because non-patient traffic, that's your storefront. That's where you want to present the breadth and the scope of what you have to offer your community. One of those things is emergency care. We've even had practices promote 24/7, 365 emergency care, and it did them very well. Very well. Filled those gaps right up, but the doctor has to be pretty flexible, and the staff has to be even more flexible, and you have to have the physical room, the operatories, and in some cases, the dentists, in order to pull it off. So your website for sure. Social media, absolutely. What is our policy on emergency dental treatment? And just here's the phone number, here's what will happen, here's what your expectations should be. We're here to serve our community. 7 phone numbers, a URL, and you should be good. One enormous, two actually, 2 enormous ways to improve this. One of them is to be the review winner in your local market. I mean, emergency patients, they are still going to the web, they're still doing their search, they're still looking at reviews, and they're calling from there. So if you want to be part of that market and gain part of that market share, that's certainly one way to do that. Be the review champ in your market area, or at least 1 or 2, maybe 3, top 2, let's say. Another really great way, and we see these all the time coming through the platform, is giving the emergency patient the ability to schedule online right now.
Oh yeah, that's big.
That's huge. That is, yeah. Now, here's what we are pretty sure of. Now, we haven't confirmed this, but if you think about it logically, you'll probably laugh, as we likely will. There's a really good chance that the people looking for Percodan are not going to make an appointment on your website.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's Saturday evening and they need a fix, they're probably going to call you, but the person who is genuinely in dental pain is probably going to make an emergency appointment for Monday, assuming you have availability Monday. So yeah, we would encourage real-time online scheduling capabilities if you really want to capture that piece of the market. We see those appointments coming through the platform, and we see how many of them are new patients and how many of those new patients are emergencies. And it's not a majority percentage, but it's a solid percentage of those appointments are emergency patients. So, and the younger your patient pool gets, the more millennial-like they'll be, and they all want to make their appointments and be done with it as well. Saturdays, Sundays, Friday evenings, it doesn't matter. The scheduling system will work for you 24/7, 365. So we don't want dentists to look upon this market segment as, just a pain in the butt. We see the numbers, so we see them, we see the revenue they generate, and it's not the end all be all. We're not asking you to be, that's not 100% of your marketing plan. That would be insane. But it would certainly be a potentially overlooked marketable attribute that you may not be taking advantage of, that you could take advantage of for a very little bit of money. Okay, that's what we look for. We look for those advantages that don't consume a large portion of your marketing budget that other dentists are ignoring. And this is one of the ones they ignore. And they ignore it many times for all the wrong reasons.
Very well put. I agree completely.
That's a good thing, huh?
Anyway, that about wraps it up for today. We certainly look forward to being with you all again next time. Thanks a lot. Bye now. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.